without further ado, I want to introduce Amos Gray. It says he's a highly sought out speaker and trainer. He has made major inroads in the lives of students, faculty, and families that he's touched. Change is inevitable when encountering Amos because of the sincerity within him. He's an entrepreneur, and the greatest passion in life is his family. He and his beautiful wife, Carol, they have 5 kids, Ashley, Alexis, Amos, Josh, Joel, and 2 granddaughters, Ariana, Janine, and Camilla Rose. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Amos Gray. Thank you so much for taking time out from your busy schedule.
No, thank you for inviting me. And, I didn't know what to expect, but man, just sitting here, just listening to you guys over the last few minutes, man, this technology is off the chart. And I love what we're able to do with it. And I tell you, hey, you teenagers, man, you guys are killing it. I love what I'm hearing. Free teens, right? I heard somebody say, changing lives, transforming lives. Did I hear that right?
Changing minds, transforming lives.
Oh, I got to change that. I got to change that. Changing minds and transforming lives, guys. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. We've got to be in a place where we can change people's minds so their lives can be transformed. Yes. Hey, like Dr. P said, man, I'm Amos Gray. I live here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, with my wife Carol of 25 years, and life is great. I used to live in Omaha, Nebraska, where it got really, really cold, but probably not as cold as where you guys are at. But we moved here about 10 years ago. And all my life, man, I have wanted, since I was 14 years old, I've always wanted to work with younger kids, younger people who were younger than I at that time. Now I'm older than everybody, but I wanted to work with young people because there was something special about you all. And I figured that out a long time ago. I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, whatever, handicapped, whatever it is, there's something special about young people. And there's some things that young people can bring forth that maybe adults can't do. And so I wanted to just share with you guys just a little bit about me, and then kind of take you on a journey of discovering the leader in you. But here's the deal. I'm gonna, Dr. P, I don't know if I can give you guys any more about being a leader, because you guys are doing it, man. I love it. These students are talking about some real stuff. Trust, communication, relationships. Hey, my man with the poem. Man, I love your vision. The woman that you want to be with one day, you're saying, I hope you save yourself for me. I hope you're waiting on me because I'm waiting on you. That's basically what your poem said. Right. And I love it. We need more young people like that. And can I be real with you? We need more young men like that.
Amen.
Guys, I have the opportunity every day to lead an organization here in Hot Springs, Arkansas called High Impact. High Impact is all about equipping and empowering the next generation that they might reach their goals, fulfill their full potential, and live healthy lives. And we are doing that not only here in Hot Springs, but around the country. This pandemic has definitely shaken things up a little bit, but nonetheless, technology has helped us to reach young people all over the country, all over the world. And there is nothing like being able to communicate and talk to young people and see them grow to become healthy adults and being holistic. You know, we talk about optimal health now, and optimal health is helping young people to live their best life. So we talk about the physical dimension, the emotional, the intellectual, the social, the financial dimension, the moral and spiritual dimension of young people. And we believe that if we can get all those really working together in a centric way, that young people can live their best life. And I'm gonna tell you, I am so proud of you guys that you guys would take this time, and there's a lot of you on here. I scrolled through and I was like, well, when is this thing going to end? You know, you guys are taking the time out of your Saturday to get online, look before a screen, and hear information. That's what I call you guys chasing your dreams. That's what I call you wanting to live your best life. And so I get a chance to do this with young people here in Hot Springs. And I've had the honor and the privilege to developing young leaders now for the last 10 years here in Hot Springs. And I picked them up when they were in the 6th grade. And Dr. P, it's funny because sometimes you don't really think about what you're doing or how you're doing it or even the results. You're just doing it because you know you've been called to do it.
Right.
I sat back the other day and I thought about this, and I thought about, man, I've been working with these 9 students since they were in the 6th and 7th grade. And now they are leaders employed in the organization that we're working with.
Right.
I was blown away to tears that that's what it takes. If we're going to transform lives, we do have to change their minds.
Right.
We have to begin sowing into them the seeds of success and the seeds that will help them to be a success.
Right.
And I just applaud you, Dr. P, and all those leaders that are taking the time to pour into these young people's lives. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, it's working. It's working. So I don't want you to be discouraged, but the things that you're seeing around the world, I want you to be encouraged. Let me encourage you real quick. Time Magazine put out an issue, I think it was like last month, or maybe a month and a half ago. And on the cover was a teenager, and in the caption, it said this: a crisis changed their world. How they respond will also change the world.
That's right. That's right.
Young people respond to what's going on around us in the world right now. It doesn't matter if it's, the Black Lives Matter or the racial stuff or the chaos and all that, or if it's a pandemic or if it's a hurricane, whatever it may be. How young people respond to it will change the world.
Right.
And I just believe that as we continue to do what we do with young people, you guys are going to change the world. And you're going to change it in such a way that the world has never seen before. You're the largest generation this world has ever seen. There are billions of you. And I always ask people this, they say about 47% of the world is made up of teenagers 19 years and younger. And I always say this: what would happen if they decided they wanted to take over the world? What would happen?
Yeah.
I believe with what you guys know,
Yeah.
who you are, the passion that you have within you, the fire for justice and right that you have within you,
Right.
you could probably do it.
Right.
Technology, you know more about technology than probably Bill Gates himself. That's what's in you. And what we want to do is we want to help develop that in you. Because one day you will run the world. And we want to make sure on our watch that we have done everything possible to set you up to win.
Amen.
To win. And so guys, just for a little bit, I just want to talk to you a little bit about developing the leader within you. Because every one of you has a leader in you. Now that leader, it may not be somebody that's out front, high, and yelling and screaming at people on the screen, or it may not be, a person behind the scenes. Whatever it is, you are a leader, and there's something in you that the world needs to experience. There's only one of you on the face of the planet. And so every decision that you make from this day on, or from the time you were born, it was making a ripple effect in the world. Because you are in the world. If you look at the palm of your hand, or you look at your thumbprint, that's the only thumbprint on the face of the planet. And I believe what young people and what people themselves need to be asking is this right here: when I leave this world, I want to leave my thumbprint on the world. But what will that thumbprint mean to the world when they see it? And so there are some things, guys, that I want to talk to you about developing the leader within you that will help you, I believe, leave a huge thumbprint that says Nair was there, Jessica was there, Brandy was there, Amos was there, Dr. P was there. Why? Because the more thumbprints we got that are leaving their mark in healthy ways, the better the world would be. And so let's talk about this developing the leader within you. Now, I don't have slides, so if you got papers, I'm just write these steps down. They're very simple. We've been talking about it forever and ever and ever. But I think in some regard, we kind of got away from it, and I think technology did a lot of that. Okay, but here's I'm not knocking technology, because technology is what we have right now, all right? But I think in some ways we've kind of lost that relational connection when it comes to developing people. And there's nothing more powerful when two people connect face to face, hand to hand, and begin to develop one another so that they can be all that they can be in this world. And so when I talk to you, I am talking to you out of a relational mindset. And again, that relationship has to be a healthy one. That relationship that you have with yourself and that relationship that you have with other people, it has to be healthy. It doesn't matter if it's your teachers, it doesn't matter if it's your mom and dad, it doesn't matter if it's your pastor or your mentor or your friends. Those relationships have to be healthy if you're going to be able to develop the real leader within you. And so number one, guys, I think as we talk about leadership, as we talk about development, we've got to identify that there's a leader in me. I've got to identify who is that leader? What is that leader all about that's in me? Like I told you, at 14 years old, I discovered that I knew I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to be a leader of young people. And a lot of things helped me to identify that. One was my passion, my fire. Whenever we talk about young people, whenever they talk about teenagers or when they talk about young people, I get fired up, man. A smile comes on my face, right? Because that's my passion, you see. And then you have to think about your gifts and your talents. What things do I do well? Because in whatever it is that I'm going to be leading, I am going to be using those gifts and those talents to make that project or that ministry or that organization really become what it needs to become. And so that leader in you must be discovered, and then it must be accepted. You see, we got a lot of young people in our world today who don't accept the fact that they can make a difference.
Right.
They believe that because of all the nonsense that's going on in our world, they don't believe that they can make a difference.
Right.
Pastor Amos, I'm just one person. Pastor Amos, everybody's doing other things. Pastor Amos, why do I need to be that way when everybody else will look at me and they'll put me down or talk about me?
Right.
Here's the deal, guys. Sometimes that's all a part of being a leader. Right. A leader says that I separate myself from the crowd because I'm not going to do everything the crowd does. Right. A leader says I want to be a positive influence, and so I got to be that positive influence that whoever's over here on the left or the right, when they see me, they can say, I can do that too. So you have to accept the fact that you can lead, and that leader in you must be identified and must come forth. So the first thing I want to say to you right now, and I'm going to get really close to this camera, I'm going to say, leaders, come forth. Come forth. Yeah. Leaders, rise up. You rise up, leaders. You can be leaders in your generation. You can take control of what's going on in your generation and change lives and transform them. You can do it. Hey, second thing is this right here. Find healthy adults who can help you process and develop your leadership talents, someone that you can trust and communicate effectively to. Now, here's the deal, guys. That's a big one. That's a big one, because I know in our world today, sometimes young people have a very hard time finding someone that they can really trust, someone that they can really say to, hey, I want to make a difference in my world. I want to make a difference in my community. I want to change the way my community looks. I want to change the way young people think in their community, in my community. Because in some regard, guys, we as adults, we've let you down. We've hurt you, I mean, spiritually. We've hurt you emotionally. We've not believed in you in a way that says you can do it. You know, a lot of times I used to say, hey, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. I've changed that tune to, I'm going to pray with you. With you. Because it's time out. It's time out for us always doing something for you. We need to begin to do it with you. And so all you adults who are on right now, again, I applaud you, because young people today need healthy adults that they can look up to, that they can share their hearts and their dreams with. And those adults look back at them and say, yes, you can do it. And not only that, they're not going to only do it with you, show you how to do it, but they're going to do it with you. They're going to walk alongside you this journey of you discovering who you are in such a way that you begin to see it come to pass. And I believe, guys, if we can find healthy adults, and listen, they're in your community. Let me give you a few places where you can look. Number one, you can look at your school. Think about your favorite teacher at your school. Huh? My favorite teacher was Miss Lillian Rudder. Yes, I didn't really learn how to read till I was in the 10th grade. And I remember Miss Rudder really teaching me how to read, and she would take these cards, right? These football cards, because I was in the sports, and she would say, read this because I know you like football. And I did. And I learned, she taught me how to read by teaching me what I really like to do. So much that I've written 2 books now. All right. I've written 2 books, you know, as an old, well, I say I'm old, Dr. P. I know you say you're a young man, but you know, I've written 2 books, and I never would have thought as a young person I could write 2 books, but I wrote one called Daily Encouragement. I want young people to be encouraged. I want adults to be encouraged. And so I thrive off of encouragement. And then the other one, this one just came out last week, called The Only Way Up is Down. Living a life totally submitted. In life, guys, you're going to have some ups and downs in life. But I'm going to tell you something. When you have somebody that's walking beside you, when you're down, you're going to come back up. Because if that person is real with you, they're not going to let you stay. And so they will help you to overcome the challenges in life. And so these books are really just stories of and one is just a daily devotion, talking about encouraging yourself and being encouraged, the leader in you, the people around you. And I could not do that if I did not have healthy people around me. And so I thank God for my wife Carol. I thank God for my mentors, Dr. Dale Sides and Dr. Roosevelt Gray, and on and on and on and on. I can talk about countless of men and women who are in my life that help me every day so that I can make it. Hey, number three, guys, is read, and read some more. Now, Dr. P, you might be able to help me with this. I heard this, that if you read 5 books a year on the subject that you want to become really good at, in 5 years, you'll be an expert in that subject. Is that true?
It sounds like a good plan.
I think somebody was trying to encourage me to become an expert. I don't know. But hey, guys, guess what? Reading is important for the leader. You must read. the things that you value, the things that you want to pour your life into. You must read about it, listen to it. Sometimes learning from others is the best way. And when people write things down, they really mean it. That's where you pick up. If you want to be the best politician, you're going to pick up books on politics. If you want to be the best speaker, you're going to pick up books on speaking. If you want to be a teacher on sexual risk avoidance, you're going to pick up stuff that will help you learn how to help people avoid risk.
Right.
And so whatever it is that you want to be good at, read it. Read it all the time. You see. And so the greatest thing that I read outside of my Bible is books on teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love reading books. I love reading books on teenagers, reading books that teenagers wrote. I love reading books on young people because they have a way of sharing things that enlightens me. I listen to young people. I'm learning these new phrases like no cap, you know. What's the other one? There's another one. I forget what it is, but they got so many terms in terms that I use them all wrong and they laugh at me. The other one, number 4 is begin using your leadership talents and do it with your mentor. So now they're not doing it with you, you're doing it and they're watching you do it. So that leader, that mentor leader, they now have gotten you to a place now where you can start doing it and they're going to sit back and watch you do it. So what they're saying is, I'm going to get out of your way so you can get it done. Mm-hmm. Because like I shared before, guys, you have a way of doing things that we can't even touch. I tell young people all the time, if I want to have a party, a really good party, I'm going to come to you and have you put it together because you guys know how to do a party, you know? But I always tell them, I can outfund you without doing anything illegal. So we have lots of fun talking about different things that we want to do because young people, you guys can do that thing, man. You guys can rock it. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to rock this world and you can do it. Hey, the last few things is this right here. Use your gifts on your own, develop. And then when you reach a point, guys, now here's the deal. It takes years to get to this point right here. Everything that I've told you, I've identified in the last 10 years. And it's taken me 10 years to get the students that are now serving as leaders in my ministry, in my organization. It's taken me 10 years to do it. And this point here lets you know now I'm a leader. And that is help others discover their leadership talents in them. When you reach that point, now you're really leading. Because leaders just don't do the work. They develop others to do the work. And then when they begin to develop others to do the work, that's when change happens. You want to change minds and transform lives? Begin developing and helping your friends find their leadership gifts and their talents, and then encourage them the same way others have encouraged you. When you do that, man, that's when you'll see transformation, both in the mind and in the life and in our world. Relationships matter. They're powerful. And we want you guys to have the most powerful relationships on the face of the planet. Because when we lay our head down on the pillow, or when they kick dirt in our face and go back and eat mashed potatoes, you know, and gravy, we want to know that the world is in great hands.
Right.
Amen.
God bless you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I guess now you guys have some questions maybe. I'm an open book. You guys are awesome.
Okay, Joshua, do you have a question you want to ask Reverend Gray? Joshua, I see your picture there.
What'd you say?
Do you have a question you want to ask?
Repeat yourself. Sorry, it was echoing.
Okay, did you want to ask a question?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. What about, I see Jared's been writing a lot in the chat. Jared, do you want to ask, make a comment or ask a question? Or Janaea?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
When it comes to, since I know a lot of the kids here are majority Black, when it comes to relationships between our own people, like our own race, how do we strengthen that? Because there's a lot of self-hate within each other, like Black men and Black females, Black females, Black females, Black men, Black men. How is a way we can start rebuilding that love we once had before it was torn apart?
Wow.
Good question.
Woo. Hey, what's your name again, sweetheart?
Janaea.
My name is Janaea Smith.
Okay. Yeah. Listen. That's a great question, and it's a question that I not only ask myself, but I experience it every day in our community. And because you went there, okay, I thank you for going there, because this is the first time, honestly, that I've had to answer this question in a public forum. The first thing that we have to do is we have to realize that we have a problem in our Black community. And everything that you said is what's going on. We're jealous, we're envious. If one person is trying to do good, they get called a sellout, or we just call them goody two shoes, And I think what we have to do is we have to find ways to build healthy relationships within our circle, because one person, yeah, you can look at that one person and say, but when you got 2, 3, 4, 5 people really trying to build healthy relationships in your community, that's when things begin to shift. So I would say this: connect with those in your community that you trust and you value. Because here's the deal: those 5 people or those 4 people, they have relationships in the Black community, and then you guys begin to challenge each other to connect with other people that they know and begin to build those healthy relationships. Yeah, but envy and jealousy and all these different things, they're in our community, and we've got to change it. Because the worst thing in the world is for a community of people whose race has been dehumanized. The worst thing in the world is for us to continue to dehumanize ourselves. This is why I say it's your generation that's got to change this. Your generation, you have been thrusted into a world called school, right? Where all different people are there, and you have relationships with all different people. I told somebody the other day in a meeting, young people don't have a racial problem. Young people don't have it because they deal with all races every day. Right. It's the generations that have gone way before them. We've got to change. We've got to change. And so we want you guys to build healthy relationships in your community as well as in your schools, so that continues to just grow. It is a process. It's a process that takes time. Relationships take time. And that's what you guys have to just take your time and build those healthy relationships. I know it's nerve-wracking because it happens in your community and within the Black community, but it's something that's real. It's there, and I am so glad that you asked that question, because that's the same question that we're dealing with in our community. How old are you?
I'm 17. I'm gonna be an incoming senior this year at international.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well, listen, you are a community changer, a world changer, girl. You go for it. You're asked. That's a tough question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I add something to that?
Yes, sir.
And I thank you for your presentation. Fantastic. And thank you for your continued work. And may God continue to bless you and your family and your community for the work that you're doing. Thank you so much. I really want young people to understand that the fact that you came on, even though you were told to come on by your parents and the coordinators of various free teens programs, this is where it really starts. When you come onto programs like this on a Saturday after you've been in the house all week, you're not in school, you're sometimes maybe not going out in the community to establish or be a part of those organizations and relationships that you have. This is part of the work too. You know, hearing this brother speak and being involved in free teens and coming on to being part of free teens when some people are not on and they're supposed to be, this is where the work is really being done. And you'll transfer this work back into the community because when you get off, your job is to talk to someone who wasn't on, to reach out to that friend, that sister, that brother, to, as he said, read more, to organize more. So in other words, it's everyday work that you're doing. And as he said, you may not see the fruit of it today, the same way we didn't see the fruit, but we're here doing the work. So to Janaea with that question, and to Jared when he said, you know, sometimes adults are not hearing you. Sometimes we adults are scarred ourselves. We're coming from a place where how we were raised and who raised us doesn't allow us to sometimes hear you because we haven't gotten past our own pain. We call that pain body. In our community, there's a lot of pain body, which also exists in other communities. You just don't hear about it, right? So when we talk to you about coming on programs like this, coming to Free Teens, being a part of Buzz, being a part of Emoja, stay involved in organizations. Stay involved in faith-based organizations, civic-based organizations. When your friends say go left, you go right, but you don't throw them away. You bring them with you and you share the information. And you're starting to see how just the work you're doing is being highlighted and promoted by those who want to support the work that you're doing. There's a whole lot more people out there doing the positive than the negative. Let's be clear around that.
That's true.
I need you to understand that. There's a lot of people that we connect with each and every day who are sharing what you're doing, whether it's in the paper, whether it's on social network. But if we're only looking at certain outlets, then what you'll get is what they're giving you. So you got to make sure, like the brother said, that you're reading, that you're writing, that you're organizing people who's organizing, that you're staying in a positive place so you don't get knocked out of your box. Emerald started out by saying, I'm in a place where people are bringing me in as part of their family, supporting me. She's traveling around the world. She could have been someplace else. And I'm not speaking for her, but I'm listening to what she's sharing with you, that when the opportunity comes, you snatch that opportunity, you be selfish with it, and you keep going with it. It's a lonely place when you're trying to do the right thing. But guess what? In the end, there's more people than you think doing the right thing. You just don't get to hear it or see it all the time. So we salute you, and we want you to stay focused.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's
Reverend.
good.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right. All right. I think Jared wanted to share. Jared?
Okay.
So my question is, so like mostly for like single parents, predominantly like women, I feel like when it's like children of minorities that are like usually like maybe Black or Latino, like go to school, especially like in my area, they don't have enough people to talk to. And I feel like some men, like usually like young men, trying to like grow up and go to the right direction, like kind of get detoured by their friends and negative influences because like they're like usually like the woman like raised a child, and like I feel like it shouldn't be the mother's job to teach them manhood and how to like do all those things that you need to know before you leave to go to college and then you enter the real world. So like I guess I was asking the question like how to like where do you go when you feel as though you don't have mentorship like when we was in our schools, because now we're not, obviously.
Yeah.
COVID-19.
Man, that's a good question, but it's one that I'm very familiar with. You know, I was raised by a single parent mom. My mom raised 7 kids by herself in the West Little Rock here in Arkansas, and man, we didn't have a whole lot. You know, of course we had family and everything, but when it came down to it, you know, there are things that I had to go out and learn on my own as a teacher, whether it's from a coach or a teacher, like I'd like share with you, Mr. Rudder. You know, but there are men in your community. There are men in your community that you can develop, you know, just like with this program you're in right now. You can connect with different men. It might be a pastor, it might be, you know, a healthy man in your church, it might be a healthy man in your community, it might be a store owner, you know, it might be a businessman. But there are men there, and that's what I had to do. I had to find, and then it's tried and tested until you connect with the right person. I would say this right here. I would say this. I lean on this verse, Joshua 1:9. Moses just died, and now Joshua is getting ready to take the people into the promised land. And God says this: be strong and very courageous. Be strong and very courageous. He said it 3 times. Be strong and very courageous. And he said, just as I was with Moses, I will be with you. I will be with you.
That's right.
When you know that you have the creator of the world on your side, you can continue to move forward. Watch until he brings that man into your life, my brother, that will help you continue to move forward in developing you as a leader. Guys, I have probably 15, 20 guys, and one of my top 5 just walked into the center just now. And, you know, we talk about things, and he was a guy that really was unexpected. I didn't really realize I was going to develop that relationship with him, but I did. And I tell you, it's healthy, it's strong. He comes from a different perspective and a different hue, you know. He's white, you know what I'm saying? But the thing that he has is love. Is love. You find people to walk with you, people who you know love people. And there's no greater identifier than that, than young people.
Right.
I always say you can fool a fool, but you can never kid a kid. You can never get over a young person. They see it, they smell it, and when it's bad, they tell you about it. So my man, I would ask you to really begin by identifying the men in your community or the men around you. And then identify the ones that you know you can really connect to. Look for those traits like honesty and trustworthiness and love, and they don't mind expressing their love. You know, look for those men who always give you wisdom. You know, that's a man that you can connect with. And I always say this: look for a man, because I believe holistically. Look for a man who's deep in his faith. Who's deep in his faith.
Right.
Those men who are deep in their faith, they love people, they share wisdom. You can't beat them. You can't beat them.